Hey guys, Harry Thomas here, and 2 years ago today, the third trailer for Barbie dropped on social media. It's still one of my all-time favorite trailers, and I am still freaking obsessed with Barbie mania, if you couldn't tell. And for today's Barbie video topic, I wanted to address a topic that has been highly debated among this movie's fan base. When you look at, lots of videos on YouTube and social media, you'll notice that the majority of people seem to side with Ken and takes Ken's sides in the conflict between Ken and Barbie in this movie, which kind of proves the film's point about the real world and our society being far more pro-male than Barbieland in comparison. Uh, come on, guys, where are the people on Barbie's side? But in my personal opinion, Barbie was in the right and Ken was in the wrong. I'm not saying Barbie was 100% perfect or a saint. Goodness no, who is perfect? What protagonist in a movie is perfect? Barbie certainly had things to learn in her transformation from a doll to human, and she even learnt some things about Ken that she didn't in her previous stereotypical Barbie perfect life. But personally, I think Ken hurt Barbie far worse than she hurt him, and here's why. This girl, I think, was right, and he was wrong. If you take Ken's side, that is perfectly fine, each to their own. I'm not trying to sway you, but here's why I stand by Barbie's side and think she deserves more people on her side. So throughout Barbie's uh, so throughout the course of the movie, Ken only has a great day if Barbie notices him, as pointed out by Helen Mirren's narrator, and Ken feels like he can't exist without Barbie and can't exist even without her approval. And in Barbieland, each day he's constantly getting upstaged by his rival Ken, Shun-Chi Ken, for Barbie's affections, and each night she rejects him in favour of a girls' night and female company because Ken's life was an entire job was just beach weekend. Guess that's he and the other Kens were just living on the beach while the Barbies had their dream houses. So, but even when Barbie was a pro-female society, the Barbies weren't exactly dicks to the Kens. Even though the Kens didn't have any power, the Barbies didn't enslave the Kens or force them to serve them. Kens still seemed happy at the beach, and the Barbies didn't exactly take the beach away from them. Did they? And Barbie doesn't hate Ken, as she even kindly let him go with her. I mean, I know he was insisting, but even so, she didn't even let her Barbie friends come with her on her mission to the real world. And she wasn't being a dick to Ken. She just wasn't designed or manufactured by Mattel to, have romantic feelings for another male because as Greta Gerwig said, she's got no reproductive organs, so romance is going to be the last thing on her mind. Ken needed to realize that it was not the end of the world if Barbie didn't love him back. When a woman says no, you need to respect that. Even when Barbie and Ken will go to the real world, where Ken could have been a little more supportive of Barbie. He wasn't exactly going to help her, uh, you know, find the girl who was playing with her to fix her existential crisis. No, he only came because he could be in Barbie's company. And when that human dude even slapped her buttocks on Venice Beach, Ken didn't exactly stick up for his girlfriend, no, but Barbie had to do that, so Barbie had to punch that guy. And Ken was just whining and like a man child to Barbie and complaining the entire time. So you could see why she just wanted him to take a walk somewhere so she could focus on who was the girl she was that weird Barbie told her to find. And Ken was like, when he found out about the patriarchy and the male dominance in the real world, he was like, "Oh, screw a helping Barbie! The patriarchy rocks. I can use this to run the world." Yeah, that's when Ken started to become the villain for me. That's why Ken still counts as the main antagonist of the film, even though he's not, well, even though he is a redeemable villain, he's still a villain to me. After not being allowed to have a job because he has no qualifications, no MBA, and no medical degrees, and doesn't know how to be a lifeguard whatsoever, Ken realizes in Barbieland, because you can do whatever you want, he can, become the usurper of his Kendom that he wants to build. And when he sees Barbie get, arrested by Mattel, he doesn't help her. He's just like, nah, she'll be fine. I'll just go back to Barbieland and tell the Kens about what I've learned and take her home while I'm at it to get her back for rejecting me. Barbie even said to Gloria when the Barbies were forming their plan to take back Barbieland, she didn't want to hurt Ken. So, yeah, even Barbie cared a little more than Ken did. You gotta admit, Ken was like to Barbie when she, Gloria, and Sasha returned to Barbieland, which is slowly becoming Kendon. When he's like, "You failed me." She didn't. It's her choice if she doesn't want to be with you, dude. And when he uh, twists Barbie's words when he's like, "It's my Mojo Dojo Casa House, not Barbie's Mojo Dojo Casa House, and every night is boys' night," and he chucks all her clothes out of the house. You're like, Ken, no need to be a plastic prick. Barbie, never went that far and did that to you. Even after all that, Barbie still had the heart to owe Ken an apology, and even after he did rob her of her home and her friends and took everything from her, she even admitted not every night had to be girls' night, showing that she is the genuine one. And I mean, at least Ken did confess that he didn't love a ruling kingdom and lost interest in the patriarchy once he discovered it had nothing to do with horses, which of course only Ryan Gosling could make that line hilarious. And yes, so with Barbie's help, Ken does come to realise that, so well, he can move on from her and respect her wishes, and he does thank her for helping him see he was Kenough after all, so I'll give him that. I know Ken coming with Barbie to the real world was just part of the story, because if Ken hadn't told the Kens about, well, the patriarchy, then the Barbies never would have, experienced depression, and the Kens may never have gotten true equality. So I get that. It was to show Kendom could be just as, toxic as a society as Barbieland, and how, yeah, the Barbies and Kens, really needed to combine the two together to make a perfect society work. But the Kens certainly, did, the putting one gender above the other more extremely than the Barbies did, just in my personal opinion. But anyway, that's just my take on the Barbie and Ken relationship and Ken's storyline. Why I really thought that Barbie, he really didn't do anything bad to Ken, but Ken did as well some pretty awful shit to Barbie. And to those who think that Ken had a more of a storyline than Barbie did, no, I think Barbie and Ken had just as strong emotional journeys in this movie. And technically, we would have seen Margot's first post-Barbie movie, A Big Bold Beautiful Journey, by now, had it not been pushed back to September this year. But it's not a huge delay, it's only a few months. We can easily wait. And yeah, it will, and it's coming just before my birthday, so an early 30th birthday gift for me. And yeah, boy, am I so craving that first teaser for a big, bold, beautiful journey. I will review it the day it drops, and biggest congrats to Margot on her child. I just know she is a wonderful mother, and I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy my uh, video about helping you see the Barbie and Ken situation from a different perspective. And what are your thoughts? Did you think Barbie was in the right, or Ken? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. And when I review the Lilo and Stitch TV series, as well as rant on the remake, because I know the remake is going to be horrible. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.